It is Friday, May 9th, and you know what that means. We are back with another edition of Riley Friday, Twinski edition for all the good folks, silly face out there. Gregory had to handle some family business today, but Riley has to hold it down for his day of the week. And honestly, Riley, I'm feeling really good because we had a little bit of break in Riley Friday. Like we had some Riley Fridays, but it was like you get a Riley Friday, and it was like a bi-weekly Riley Friday. Now
hmm
they don't let us get into a Riley Friday rhythm, and folks should be scared.
We are back. We might not be back with the original lineup yet. It is yet another Twinsky takeover, as you hinted at. But yeah, Card, I'm with you. I feel like we're refining our rhythm. It kind of dawned on me a couple days ago, though, that we've been doing Riley Fridays for about 2 years now.
Is that actually for real?
I'm pretty sure it was May of 2023 when Greg first pitched the idea to me.
That's actually crazy that we have done 2 years worth of Riley Fridays. Shout out to Riley Fridays. It's become a absolute staple. I don't know. I had this thought actually a long time ago that if for some reason you just came on here and you're like, you know what, I'm kind of done with Riley Fridays. I don't think we could rebrand. We would have to find somebody else with Riley in their name, whether it's first, last, middle. Like we can't like imagine we came back on here and we're like, oh, Todd Fridays. Like it just wouldn't hit, right?
Car, do you know what that term is? That's a literary term where it's like the vowel sounds similar, like Riley, Friday.
I can't believe that you think I would know what that is. That is Greg's wheelhouse, and he is not here.
It is known as assonance. And
What did you
yes,
just call me?
yeah, it's funny. It has the ASS word in it. And we'll be talking about the ASS conference later today. I want to tease a topic, but assonance. That's when you have a word like Gary Harris, Spartan Dog for Life, when that like two words back to back that have the same vowel sound. And I think that's why Riley Friday sounds so good is because of the assonance.
Yeah, I agree with it. It's special. It'll always forever remain special. Riley, how's life going? How's everything doing? Family all good?
Yeah, family's great. You saw my Instagram story, got a little bag work, as the kids say, with Theo earlier this week on the court. The kid he is literally obsessed with basketball right now.
I mean, that's got to feel great.
It does. At the same time, slightly inconvenient sometimes as we're leaving. I have like my outdoor ball in the garage, and every time we leave for a walk when he's in the stroller and he sees the basketball, he just starts reaching for it, going ball, 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 ball until I give it to him. So yeah, he's been carrying the ball on every walk. It only becomes complicated when he like throws it at our dog or just will like drop it. But then again, yesterday, Cart, we were walking on a trail. He had the basketball. He threw it like 3 times. So I was like, whatever, I'm not doing this. I got to get a little dribble work in as
Oh
I
God.
was. So I'm literally walking down a trail, practicing my little tween. Very entertaining for wife and son as they got to see me get in the lab on the walk. But yeah, how about you? How's Leon? How's the family?
Everything's going good. Can't complain. Dude is growing out of his clothes like crazy though. Like went through his closet and just like one, unworn things, of course, and then two, just like just so many clothes. They only got like one wear. Glad we at least get a lot of fit pics off with him, so like we have memories of it. But yeah, went to go throw on a pair of his jeans this morning, and I was like, good grief, kid! Like these are skin tight. We gotta get you some new clothes and or pivot to some little cargo fits. But hey, can't complain. The weather's getting nice in Michigan, which I need it. I can feel the seasonal depression exiting my body. What vitamin do you get from the sun?
I believe it's vitamin D.
Yeah, pause. But like that's hitting different right now.
What you're saying is the weather bit might be making a return.
I forgot. You know what? I forgot. I need to make a consistent bit return, whether it's the breakfast, the slipper flip, the weather. I don't
The
something
deep,
has to make a comeback.
don't forget deep voice.
I,
What we need to do, Cart, is plan this out for the summer with Greg not being here. This will be the test to see if he's actually listening to this. We will plan week by week what bits we do with like maybe next week's weather bit. Maybe the following week we both bring a little Brecky Breck on here. Following week hit him with a slipper fit, and then of course deep voice. Deep voice is my personal favorite bit, but yeah.
the voice one does go crazy, even though Greg, I feel like wants to kill us when we put those. But that's okay though, because the only thing he can do is get rid of us, and I don't think he'll get rid of us, so that's fine. We're fine with that. Let's go to the YouTube comment of the day. Let's see what I can find. I do want a quick shout out. Shout out to JK, producer. Did a great job with putting the tier maker on the screen. So everyone show love to JK for making that happen. I know people in the YouTube comments have been asking for that to happen a long time now. Just so you know, Riley, we might be working tier maker in the Riley Fridays every once in a while because we figured out it's not that hard to do, like, actually produce and do. So yeah, that's gonna happen for sure.
We that actually is perfect because there will be a tier that comes up later today. This
I,
was not planned at all. I might have to just text JK now and say, "Yo," because what do we like to do, Cart? We love telling JK. We love telling JK what to do.
we love. But the only thing is
Wait,
though,
Cart, wait, you're
Greg has our
oh,
tier maker account though. I don't have it.
so I'm gonna have to send it to Greg.
So the thing is, like, it's like a whole thing with like you got to screen record and you gotta, I guess, like you gotta go through the tier maker while on screen record and have all the images uploaded to
Uh,
it. So it's like there's a little
gotcha,
bit of pre-work into it. But like
gotcha.
next Riley Friday, if we can prepare for a tier maker thing, I
Hmm.
absolutely need it.
As we were talking about paying JK, telling JK this is what you get paid to do, which is random tasks. You're a White Lotus guy, aren't you?
Mhm.
So we just started not too long ago in season two right now. Do you remember season two?
Yeah, season two was the one in Italy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if JK is our Portia.
JK is gonna take that as so much disrespect, I feel like. Because he's a White Lotus watcher, so you're gonna have to deal with him. Riley said that, JK, not me. All right. I just want to make that
But that
very
makes me Tanya. I don't know if anybody really wants to be Tanya.
yeah, you being Tanya's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But I gotta move on from that. All right, YouTube comment of the day. So this one is an overarching one, and it is Sleepers Media extending an apology. So the other day, do you have an FBI mug? I have so many follow-up questions. You're an FBI mug, like Federal Bureau of Investigation mug.
It was a groomsman gift from a former agent.
YouTube comment of the day, my word. The other day we did a segment on like the top 10 transfers of all time in the NIL era. Like, and it was like Dalton Connect. Um, and there was some people in the comments, and we missed somebody big time. And we got to go hand up on this one. We didn't put Janai Broom.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, I don't know how it slipped my. I don't know how he slipped my mind. I mean, we were throwing out guys like Brady Manick that almost made it. So shout out to you, Riley. But that's on us. Janai Broom would have been up there. I think we had Dalton Connect as the best ever, and then honestly, Broom might be two. Man, Broom was like National Player of the Year candidate, and then I think we would go like TSJ, and I can't remember who
Hmm.
else we had in there. But our
Is this
apologies for not putting Broom in there.
this was best transfers in the modern NIL era?
Yeah. So we didn't
Uh-huh.
like go back to like
Like Kyle Wiltjer or something.
no. Wow, what a deep cut, Kyle Wiltshire. No, but
Uh, I'm dropping obscure white Gonzaga players with a mug from the feds. We need to get this moving before I get some
yeah,
allegations.
we definitely need to get it moving. We're gonna move to the Discord comments here. Shout out to the Discord. Join the Discord for 9.99 a month using the link in the description of our Twitter bio. 9.99 a month. Join on your desktop to avoid those fees. Get to be a part of a great community, great discussion. We're talking all types of things off season right now. Just a good community to be a part of, and a part of being a part of the Discord is that you get your comments read every single day. So we are going to pull up the comment section in the Discord. Let's see what we have here. Let's start with Let's start with Coop. Greg and Cart, I meant to put this earlier, but I forgot though. Forgot to. That's on me. But over the weekend, I finally got home from hospital after needing a pretty severe heart surgery. And I just wanted to thank you guys for continuing to make videos. It provided me with a lot of good entertainment while I was lying there. Keep up the hard work. And even though we may have disagreements on stuff, you guys are doing a great job. Also, in one of your underdog ad reads, you referred to you guys as idiots. But I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You guys are not idiots. You are bozos. Never forget where you came from. First of all, Coop, shout out to you, man. Hope everything's going well. That's with your recovery. Good to know that you're home. Hope you're resting up. Also, I'm picturing you, not to make a joke out of this, but like I'm saying something about Purdue and you're just like in the hospital and there's like, you okay? He's like, yeah, Carter's just really pissing me off, putting Purdue number two. But good to know you're back home and healthy, man.
Absolutely.
Let's go. All hail the Pope. They just announced Kentucky will play Louisville in basketball on November 11th. Why is it so early? And with it being so early, do you think who do you think will have an advantage?
Oh man, great question. Wait, is that this year or next?
That's this year. Yeah, the
Wait,
game's
for
on November.
real?
Yeah, they play on
For
November
some
11th.
for some reason I read that as it was for the 2026 season. That it was like,
No,
oh, season
I
that's for two
think
years out. But
I'm pretty
I mean,
positive for this season.
based on the question, it sounds like you're right. I would say I think Louisville should be favored if it's early just because of the I mean, do they actually
It's at
I
the Yum Center too, right?
uh-huh. To me, in my mind, I feel like Louisville's integrating less new pieces just because Kentucky had so many transfers, but I guess Louisville's brought in a bunch of new guys too. I still would give the edge to Louisville because of Jaden Quaintance's health. I
Yeah.
think and I don't know, man. Like Jalon Low, I guess he should be familiar with the opponent, but I need to see him get a little more comfortable, like at Kentucky, just kind of based on how up and down and even how checked out he looked last year down the stretch. Before I'm like, this is sick. He's ready to go as PG1 for the Cats.
Yeah, I think obviously you brought up a real major point. JQ's health is going to be a big thing here. Also, I just realized I don't want to call him JQ anymore because it makes me think of Javon Quinterly,
That's
and
who I think of
I get
too.
upset. Shout out to Jelly JQ. But yeah, I think Jaden Quayton's health is going to be massive. Louisville obviously is going to have the home court advantage, and a lot of new pieces for sure. I think on both teams. I think I'll give a slight edge to Louisville with it being early. I will say this, I like it being early, like because sometimes early in the season, you're like a little bit, like where are the matchups, right? Like you gotta wait
Right.
to the Champions Classic. You gotta wait that sometimes that first week is just like kind of. So, a little I think it's a Tuesday in November. It sounds like a little Tuesday rivalry matchup. Mark Pope, Pat Kelsey, two teams that have done great things in the offseason. I'll be very excited to watch that. All hail the Pope. Coach K wrote a book, and in it, he said it's harder to build a program than maintain a program. Do you agree?
It's harder to build a program than it is to maintain a program, John.
There's nothing that does it more than just Coach K impressions. Riley, do you think it's harder to build a program or maintain a program?
I think wait, which one does Coach K say is harder?
Coach K said it's harder to build it.
It is definitely harder to maintain a program.
You think?
Yeah.
Do you actually think, Riley?
No.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the funny part about this is I feel like Coach K wrote this and he's like, this is a massive bar. Like it's not like kind of common knowledge. Like
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
way harder to build one than to maintain one. Come on
I
now.
mean, isn't that true with most things in life? Like you can sustain success more easily than you can build it from nothing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a that's
Come
a
on now.
1000% the case. I'm sorry. Thank you, Coach K. But we're gonna move on here. Jay Meisner. All transfers and new players have some risk of not being what you expect slash hope, or at the very least, taking time to adjust. I think it's safe to assume that Power Five transfers are the most known quantities because they are at least have experience at that level. But how would you rank other players such as up transfers, foreign players, freshmen? Who should we rely on the most, and who highlights should be taken with a grain of salt?
That's a great question. I think for me, when it comes to like up transfers in particular, I usually like to look at like what's their style of play. Like if it's I think the biggest one to pinpoint is like, yeah, this isn't going to work out is when you find an undersized big transferring up. Like nine times, like Norchad Omier is the outlier here. 9 times out of 10, if you watch the highlights, it's them like bullying other dudes. And it's like, yeah, you just can't do that at the higher level. So I always try to watch like how much bully ball does the player utilize, and then I always like to look at dunks to measure athleticism. And then I like to look at the like shot charts from CBB Analytics to see just how like efficient a guard is at the rim or whatever. Like Xavier Lee, and there's one even Lamar, it's either Lamar Wilkerson or Jaron Pierre. One of those dudes was not particularly efficient in the paint.
Mhm.
I apologize for I'm very high on Lamar Wilkerson, so let's say it's Pierre who was like pretty inefficient in the paint. Yeah, both he and Lee kind of struggled in that. So those are two things I usually look for. But they both have good size to where maybe it like negates some of that at the next level.
Yeah, I feel like size is always something you look at. I think you made a great point with the big man and how that works. Some of the big men at the lower level are able to, use their footwork, bully ball, and that doesn't necessarily work at the Power Five. Same thing with, other guards in general. Sometimes like, they don't have the size to,
Hmm.
or there'll be an adjustment period. Another thing for me, you pointed it out with like shot chart, is just like how they score, right? Like you look at what Frankie Fiddler did at Omaha, it was all tough shots, like tough shots getting to the foul line. And that just didn't necessarily translate. And I don't, sometimes the tough shot makers are, that can't necessarily get their own shot off the dribble. So they have to just take
Hmm.
tough ones. It doesn't always translate. Freshmen, it's so hard because they just got to come up and play like 24-year-old men nowadays. So it's kind of hard. But I like looking at with freshmen, the main thing I look at is one, just immediately like how they actually you can kind of tell with the freshmen nowadays, like, do they like playing basketball? Or are they just kind of like talented? It's kind of easy to tell with the younger kids. And the foreign players, it's really tough. The one thing I will say is that usually getting a foreign player a la like Mihaila Petrovic, who Illinois guy, you're like, okay, I can trust this. This guy was playing in the Adriatic League where he was an MVP candidate and he was playing with like Carly Jones and stuff like that. Or
Hmm.
Omer Meyer was playing major minutes for a Euro League team and being successful in those minutes. So it's like you kind of got to look at the competition, look at the film. Um, so it's tough to say. Sometimes it is a crapshoot with guys, though. Like you'll
For
look at the
sure.
film. Like to be honest with you, the first Kasparis Yakashonis tape I saw, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Now I got a little bit further into it, and I was like, okay, it'll be better. But I didn't think he'd be as successful as he was
Right.
at his first season.
To that point, so I've been looking at some FIBA U18 Eurobasket tourney like highlights because Carolina's recruiting this German wing, Ivan Karchenkov, very hard right now. Hopefully they end up signing him. But he played really well in that tournament last year against Kasparis and against Nojas Idrisitis, I think is his
The
name, the kid who
Iowa
started
State
out
kid.
at Yep. And I can't remember where he transferred to, but he definitely went, I think he might have transferred to an ACC school. Um, but like in the game where Germany played Lithuania, I think Nojas had like 20 and 5 and Kasparis had like 12, 4 and 5 or something like that. Kasparis had a very nondescript stat line and Nojas ends up playing 6 minutes per game. Kasparis is going to be a lottery pick. That to me, when you're looking at, I think it's one thing when you're looking at some of the older guys like Petrovic with him being what, 21, 22.
Yeah,
I feel like he should translate pretty easily. And even the kid Sananda Fu from just I always mess it up. Sananda Fru for Louisville.
yeah,
I
he's
think
gonna.
he might be like
He'll,
19 or 20.
yeah,
I think he'll translate really well. Like that dude dunks on everybody. But with some of the younger dudes, I think it's really hard to project because, I mean, you might have someone like Kasparis who just lights it up right away. You might have someone like Yegor who's up and down throughout the whole season, but has some moments of brilliance. Or you might have someone like Nojas or Savo Drezgic. I don't know how
Mhm.
to say it. The Croatian kid, or excuse me, Serbian kid who played at Georgia. Like it's kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's sometimes worth the risk though, but you really just got to watch them, and competition obviously is big too. We did a video on a Michigan State kid that or Michigan State might be after, and uh, yeah, some of the comp was looking a little bit shaky, but
Was this Noam Yakov?
no, this
Or
was
different one?
like a high school kid. Technically, his name's
Oh,
Lewis.
gotcha.
He's like a 7-footer, very raw, but something there. Malik Perry,
Also,
Carter with a
I wanted to be clear, and I don't feel bad interrupting Malik. Just so I don't, so the IU fans don't come after me. I love Lamar Wilkerson. His shot chart is great. He was very efficient. It was Jaron Pierre who was like super inefficient anytime he got into the paint. So.
love Jaron Pierre. Do not care about that. Malik Perry, Carter would 100% play for Kentucky. He's too soft to grind it out. Look, Greg, a spider. I mean, yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm soft. I'll take that. Let's see. Right, sorry. Malik once again. Happy Raleigh Fridays. Liked how on the NC State video, Mr. Davis threw some shade about Holloman being on the team. I won't kick a little sheep. I met Tar Heel while they're down.
He might have a chance to kick a little sheep while they're down in general because UNC and Michigan State play this year.
Do they?
Yeah, I can't remember if it's in East Lansing or Chapel Hill, but I'm pretty sure it's a home and home.
Ooh, okay. If it's in Chapel Hill, we might have to make a trip.
Oh, that'd be fun. Let's
Need
do it.
that. Malik, once again, I get the people want a national championship, but you MSU fans are stupid if you think Tom Izzo is about to start paying millions for players. And Greg, hope you're feeling better. Listen, um, that's fine. That's fine, but you have to come with those. You have to accept what comes with those results of not paying players, right? And look, I said this. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Izzo. He won the Big Ten by 3 games last year. Like I say my doubts all the time, but at the same time, I'm just coming from a spot where I trust the dude, right? But with that, just a little gotta get my 2 cents in here. Jace was so special for this team last year. He covered up a lot of issues that I think this team could have had. There is no Jace. There doesn't seem to be a Jace-like replacement. I'm very intrigued to see what guys step up. I'm very intrigued to see what guys improve, including Fears, Kurtang, seeing what the freshmen can do. I'm extremely excited about Cam Ward being in the fold. So we'll have to see how it unfolds. But that's all I got to say about it is, you have to accept what comes with not paying players millions and then just live with those results. And if that's what you want to do, I think that's what he's going to do. So is what it is. Uh, Malik Perry, once again, how much is Tom pursuing Louis Obara? I get that he's raw, but Tom isn't exactly after many centers. Plus, he could redshirt and be ready for next year. I'm not sure how seriously they are going after him. This was a 7 foot kid I was talking about, Riley, from
From
Britain.
Britain. He just
Yeah,
followed us on Twitter, the
yeah,
Sleepers account.
yeah, he did. So, I think he is raw. I don't think you can teach 7'2" with 7'7" wingspan. But I think he has a long way to go to be a high major basketball player, but might be worth a shot. I wouldn't turn it down whatsoever. I do think he would need some development, and hopefully, if that does happen, it could happen in Michigan State. Uh, Fam 33, happy Blessed Friday, fam. Y'all know how we rock. I'm interrupting the flurry to set the tone this week. In honor of me hitting the halfway mark of the 75 hard. Congrats to you on that, fam. It's time to bring back a classic to celebrate Sleeper's food selection. I need a breakfast, lunch, and dinner selection from the panel.
Let's go. I was actually thinking about this last week that fam hasn't done this in a while. What do you think you should have for breakfast, Cart?
Ooh. Can you pick breakfast and I just do lunch? And you do breakfast and dinner and I'll do lunch.
Works for me. All right, fam. Let's see. I'm trying to think what I think he's actually going to do. If it's a Friday, so he's probably going out. He said he doesn't really cook on
And he's
Fridays.
and he's done 75 hard, so he hasn't really had much. Maybe he wants to treat himself a little bit here.
Okay. I want you to go get yourself a really good breakfast sandwich of sorts, fam, whether that's on a biscuit. That would be my preference. That would be my advice. But I know in Michigan, biscuits might be a little more. Oh, wait, he's in Chicago. I don't know what the biscuit scene is like in Chicago. If you can't
It's
find
good.
a
It's
good.
good. I know from experience. Good biscuit scene.
All right, let me get a biscuit with egg and either bacon or sausage, or maybe even a little fried chicken if they do that in Chicago.
That'd be special. A little
And
honey,
hash browns. Get you some hash browns on the side.
little honey on that biscuit too.
You know what? If you want to get a little something, want to get a little freaky with the honey, go ahead.
Please, please do. Fam. So for lunch, I'm gonna send you. You're in Chicago. I think it's called Happy Camper. And I want you to get the Happy Camper koozie. I want you to get a beer too. You get a nice little lunch brew and then get pizza from Happy Camper. That's what I want you to get.
For dinner, I think you should go get some Thai food.
Ooh.
Maybe a little drunken noodle and get a little spicier than you would expect. Don't play it safe with just a 1 out of 5. Make them turn up the heat a little bit. And you know what pairs really well with Thai food? Get you a glass of rosé.
A glass of rosé and Thai food.
Rosé goes really well with various types of Asian food.
I
Love a
love
good
rosé.
rosé. Same.
Rosé's good stuff. Shout out to the summer water. Shout out to you, fam, for doing 75 hard. Congrats. On the halfway mark. Keep pushing. Be great. I'm also interested to see what fam looks like post 75. Like, is he just jacked or like what's he looking like?
Yeah, we need a before and after BMI, though we are not a body shaming podcast, as we've said multiple
Yeah,
times.
unless you're Tristan. Malik Perry, once again, have to give Carter some credit. He's right about killer whales. For some reason, they don't really kill people. They will murk everything else in the water, though. I had to hit Greg with some marine biology knowledge. Had to. Um, Riley, how much did Trimble get this year to stay at UNC?
Um, I would if I had to guess, carry the two. What you do
Yes,
pay?
sir.
Probably like between 1 and 1.5.
That's what yeah, probably right around there. I feel like at least 1.5.
Yeah, I would guess like that. I know that when you retain your own players, you get to they usually come at a discount to where if he had hit the open market, I bet someone would have thrown maybe close to 2 million at him. But yeah, let's say 1.5. I mean, we are in the $10 million club, so
Yeah, yes,
you can worry
sir.
about that.
Money bags, money bags.
Can't say
Uh,
anyway, I'm not gonna say anything negative. So
Malik Perry, did I hear that Fana list have MSU at 18? Man, people be overranking us, I swear. Look, I think Michigan State is going to be a borderline. I would have them between 18 and 25. They will make it, but it'll be interesting to see kind of where they end up. I don't think we should go any crazy lengths. Let's see here. End of flurry. Now we have Pikel, please. Knicks up 2-0 on Boston. I'm backing on this franchise. New York City, you listen to me. If you are near a convenience store right now, any type of 24-hour store, go into the store right now and put your hand in the cash register for no reason. Their money is your money as of right now. I can't say that advice is good. Let's relax on that. We do not endorse theft. That's why Riley has an FBI mug. T. Steffi, hey guys, if you could change one rule and add one rule to college basketball, what would it be?
ooh, I got add one rule. If you catch the ball in the corner and you step out of bounds, if you step backwards and step out of bounds and your foot's on the line, that's a tech.
A tech?
Yes, it's not like if you get a second tech, you're not ejected from it. It's like a light tech.
It's a dead ball tech.
Yeah, let's go with that because nothing annoys me more than when my team has a turnover from a guy stepping out of bounds in the corner.
What's one rule you would change?
Uh,
Because that would be the new rule. What's a rule you would change?
would we change it? Like I know y'all have talked about going from 5 fouls to 6 fouls,
That'd be a good one.
but I also think like I kind of like that the strategy of 5 fouls in a 40-minute game. Like obviously you have 6 fouls in the NBA when there's 48-minute games and it makes a little more sense. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would change. You got anything?
So if I would change one rule, I would do the advancing the ball in the timeout.
Oh, I do like that.
That'd
Yeah.
be good. And the one rule that'd be the rule I would change. The one rule I would add, huh? What would I add? I don't even know if you could somehow change this, but if you get dunked on, then it's not a charge. That's one. I don't even know if that's a rule.
Yeah, I
That's what
like
I
that too.
you
That's a
can't
good
like
one.
you see OG Anunoby just punch all over somebody last night and it was a charge.
Yeah,
Yeah, hate that.
can't be doing that.
All hail the Pope. Who will have the best backcourt next year?
Louisville.
I think Louisville as well. I don't think all hail the Pope wants to hear that, but yeah, that was up. Um, let's see. Your Serbian boiler says pick some players to represent the clubs in your golf bag. Uh, he said, for example, Zach Edey's a driver. He's reliable, powerful. Braden Smith is a putter, always gets the ball where it needs to go in the clutch. Fletcher is the 4-iron. It has some deficiencies, but you can rely on it from deep when it's an open shot. See, everything in my bag is inconsistent, so just pick the most inconsistent player of all time, and they can be every single club in my bag. That's kind of how it would work out.
Yeah, I apologize. You're Serbian boiler. I've only been a golf guy since the Masters when I said Scotty Shefflin is nice with it for real, for real. So I have not
So,
had.
first of all, please respect Scotty Scheffler. I don't know who Scotty Shefflin is, and respect Ian Shefflin while we're at it. So the double disrespect.
Proving very quickly that I'm very much not a golf guy.
It's a hey, if you're rocking with Scotty Scheffler, I highly recommend going and watching. This is YouTube golf guy's name's Grant Horvat. I love his stuff. Used to be part of this good golf channel, but now does his own thing. He has this series where he plays like pro golfers basically, at like their home course or at some course near them, right? And
hmm
he starts 5 under and he just plays like he played like Colin Morikawa, he played Phil Mickelson, I think Tony Finau, a couple guys just to name it. I think Justin Thomas as well, but he just released one with Scotty Scheffler, and it's like great just hearing them like chop it up and golf together. So recommend that if you're a Scotty Scheffler guy. Let's see here. Your Serbian bowler once again. Also a philosophy question. Did Painter truly know that Luke Erdle surge was coming, or did Luke Erdle Or did Erdle break out simply because Paint believed in him? Ooh, ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and lean that Paint knew it was coming, but also there probably is a little bit of like Erdle feels the belief because Paint belief is like no other belief, Riley, if you didn't know.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Not trust Paint?
The F I'm gonna do.
Paint saw it coming.
The F I'ma do, man. Truly. Uh let's see here. Derek says Erdl broke out because I believe. Yeah, Derek, he did break out because you believe. You also believe in anybody that chooses to play at Purdue. Did you believe in Miles Colvin and Cam Heide as well? You did. Bright Star Jones rounded us out today. Can you guys rank your top three chain sit-down restaurants? What's your
Chili's
top?
has got to be one. Chili's one, Outback two.
Nikki, good pick out back.
Outback is just always solid.
Yeah.
Outback would be my number one, but Chili's just has like the nostalgia factor for me. That'll never change.
Yeah.
Um, and I went to Chili's once in the fall, just kind of on a whim with some coworkers. It's kind of like a little silly face, like, ooh, Chili's. Uh,
Silly outing with the coworkers.
their like lunch deal, the pick three for $10 or whatever, it like just goes crazy. It was so
Great
good.
deals, man. The triple dipper, it slaps every single
So
time.
good. So wait, I said Chili's, Outback, and do you got what would yours be? I need to think of a third.
So mine would be my first one would be Applebee's. Second one would be see this it changes. Like I just recently had Olga's and Olga's is do you have Olga's down there?
Never heard of it.
Never. Do you have Cheesecake Factory down there?
Hmm.
So I think Cheesecake Factory is honestly in the top three.
Yeah, cheesecake can make a push.
They got a large menu.
Yeah, the menu overwhelms me a little bit.
I could feel that.
What about like an on the border?
So I think we do have
Wait,
those. On the Board is a
O-
good choice.
Olive Garden's number three for me.
That's Olive Garden is so underrated.
Olive
Olive
Garden is so good.
elitely underrated. I think I'll go Applebee's, Cheesecake Factory, and then third. Mm, this is a tough choice because I don't really go to like I go to like I don't really go to chain Mexican spots, but a really good chain Mexican spot does usually get the job done. Um, I want to give a good answer for. I had one in my head, and it's so I know you don't have this, but I'm gonna do a little Michigan specific thing. Just Coney Islands. Coney Islands are elite. Just sit down joints all the time. They never miss a chicken finger pita and fries. It has never missed a day in its life ever, 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 ever. Shout out to Bright Star Jones for that question. Shout out to the Discord for the comments. That does it for the comments today. We are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Riley, can I get a bar, please? Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, the official sponsor of this here video. The good folks at Underdog have a great offer for you guys. If you use promo code SLEEPERS, this ends honestly today. This ends this week. So the day you hear this episode is your last chance to do so. Use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of a 50% instant deposit bonus. That is 50% instant deposit bonus. So basically you deposit, you get free money, and on top of that, you get a free pick as well. Last week, I was able to do Steph Curry to score 1 point in a game. And yes, it took a whole half, but damn it, it happened. Shout out to the good folks over at Underdog Fantasy. Take advantage of that offer today for the instant deposit bonus match. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Use Underdog, support us. And that makes everyone happy. Let's get to the show. Riley, Kennard, Davis, topic one, please.
First topic we have today is a new segment I like to call Good Program, Questionable Transfer. What we're going to do here, Cart, is look at some of these transfers who haven't grabbed the headlines necessarily, but are looking at a very clear path to real minutes, maybe even starters minutes for their respective programs. But here's the catch. These are guys who I would say have question marks. Some even have huge question marks. Like you look at it, like, is this guy actually good enough to play for this coach to play at a program of this caliber? So there are three categories we're going to put these guys in. So I will read you a name, and you tell me if you think they will be all conference caliber, a reliable starter, or they will underperform, maybe even fall out of the rotation.
Okay, let's rock out.
All right, first one we have Taylor Bowen going from Florida State to Alabama.
Underperform, I think. I just think that one they have they have Noah Williamson in the fold. I think that Bowen's going to be a bench piece. And to be honest with you, he came from Florida State, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I know like his stats say he did better than maybe I think of him, but I always thought that he underwhelmed at Florida State. So I think that he might underwhelm also at Alabama.
Yeah, I think he was a kid he might have even been like top 30 in his class once upon a time and then fell like right outside of the top 100 by the time he enrolled at Florida State. I actually think he's someone who will be a reliable starter. He's looking at a clear path to starting at the four next to either Aiden Sherrill or Noah Williamson, unless they want to play those two together. Kind of some interesting stats on him. If you watch the highlights, he throws down just some absolutely massive dunks. Like he's stupid athletic, crazy wingspan. Only had 18 dunks on the season, though. That does scare me a little bit. That was third on his own team. Both Malik Ewan and Jameer Watkins had more. But I like that he can shoot, shot 41% from three last year. I like that he can block some shots. And I just think, like, being put in a system that's going to get up and down, but with a coach who knows how to play to his strengths, I could see him filling that Mo Diabate role. And if he's not at least a reliable starter, I feel like fans should love him for if they can just if I would say Oates just needs to get him to like realize that he's 6'10 with a crazy wingspan and embrace the grind and embrace the hustle plays and embrace the dirty work. That's probably the biggest question mark. Like, does he see himself as like I can do that,
Yeah.
or is he still expecting like to be more of a star?
Yeah, I feel like with that type of recruit, like you said, though, it's going to take like some inner reflection and like accepting that maybe, I'm not that guy, but I can still play a good role for a good team.
Yep, yep. Next one we have Kevin Overton going from Texas Tech to Auburn.
Ooh. So what was the middle category?
Reliable starter. As of right now, you're looking at it, assuming Pettiford comes back, you're looking at potentially starting backcourt of Pettiford and Overton, or it could be Pettiford and Abdul Bashir.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that
You
would be
think
the two
Overton
options.
can get a run as a three?
Probably. I
You
mean,
know,
just looking at their roster right now, the only like true three they have is Elijah Freeman. Of course, they could play Keyshawn Hall there if they want to go with Sebastian Williams Adams at the four. Their front court's a little bit sparse right now. It's where I would think that Keyshawn Hall probably plays like 30-ish minutes at the four. But yeah, they could run some three guard stuff with Pettiford, Overton, and Bashir.
so I'm a big Overton guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and say reliable starter. I think that he has played for winning programs. I think that he was a really good bench piece for Texas Tech last year. And
Mhm.
you know, at worst, I think he's a really good bench piece for Texas Tech. So I'm gonna go ahead and lean reliable starter at maybe some point.
I'm a little less sold just because it feel like I don't know, man. Like just I'm looking at this perimeter unit right now, and I think so much is going to fall on Pettiford and Hall. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe, yeah, I guess if those two guys are like the high usage ones on this team, maybe Overton just has to pick his spots and knock down open shots. So yeah, I'll go with reliable starter.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Next, Amari Abram at Tennessee.
Ooh. So this is easily a reliable starter for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Sell me on Amari Abram.
so I just think that what he does fits Tennessee extremely well. He's a veteran. I think the defensive stuff will obviously be there. I think he was productive enough offensively that you feel good about it. This is one of the transfer ads that I would constitute as like perfect coach to player match. And I know people might disagree with that, but I just think that Abrams going to fit in pretty seamlessly with Tennessee. And I'm assuming that he would start for that team, I think, at the two spot possibly.
Yeah,
Next to
that's.
Gillespie.
Mhm.
Yes. So I like that.
He was the one who I was like pretty skeptical on. I mean, he only averaged 12 points a game at Louisiana Tech last year. I believe he was actually supposed to be at Jackson State. I think he was going to transfer to a SWAC school, but I don't know what happened there. Before that, Georgia Tech. Before that, Ole Miss. When he was a freshman at Ole Miss, I believe that was under my cousin Kermit, and I was so impressed by him as a freshman. I thought he had like legit shot creator upside, but it's just been so long that we've seen that from him. I'm gonna lean underperform. I think that eventually it ends up being Gillespie and Clarence Masamba in the starting backcourt there, with Nate Ament getting a ton of work as like I think Gillespie and Ament are gonna be the go-to guys on the perimeter. And that two guard spot's gonna be more of a glue guy, maybe a little less ball dominant. So let's move on. Next we have Indiana's mid-major front court of Josh Howard and Reed Bailey.
Oh, see, I think Reed Bailey deserves a little bit more respect for what he's gonna. I actually think he could work really well at Indiana. But a lot of that, to me, is based on what the pairing could be, right? And for me, I'm in
Sorry, I
between.
meant Josh Harris, not Josh Howard. I
Josh,
misspoke.
oh no, no, you're good, Josh Harris. So Josh Harris is the North Florida transfer, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So I like Josh Harris actually. I'm interested to see how that translates. So we talked about it earlier in the comment section. He's one of those guys who he was doing like a lot of offensive boards, a lot of like posting up people as like a
Yep.
6'8" big kind of. So and a skinny one at that. So
hmm
interested to see what that looks like. I think that's more of a project than anything. I do think Reed Bailey will be a reliable starter, but I think that Harris is far away from being like a guy. So I'm gonna go and lean underwhelming as a unit.
I am with you as Harris underperforms. I share all the same concerns you do. There's part of me that wants to say Reed Bailey has all conference level
Oh,
upside.
we're going there. I mean, I'm
He-
not mad at that. I'm not mad at that completely because I like Reed Bailey.
I
So
think
like I'm fine with that.
he's way more athletic than you would expect from a white dude at Davidson with his haircut. And I even think looking at some of like he's got really good body control around the basket. He can finish like acrobatic type finishes. And even looking at what Darian DeVries did last year with Amani Hansberry, when you could play him at the top of the key and let him make passing reads and he would find cutters, like that's Reed Bailey's strength. And I think DeVries can maximize that to where you'll be able to get him making an impact like as a scorer, as a passer, and as a rebounder. So yeah, I'm gonna say all conference level upside with Reed Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I like the going out on a limb there for your guy, right? I like Reed Bailey. I'm with that.
So we'll stick in the Big Ten and go with TK Simpkins and Shawn Stewart at Oregon.
Okay, so you're gonna hate. So for everyone who doesn't know, if there is 1,000 people left on this earth, and I'm one of them, Shawn Stewart will have a fan. If there are 50 people left on this earth, and I'm one of them, Shawn Stewart will have a fan. If it is me and Shawn Stewart left on this earth, I would be happy because I'm a Shawn Stewart fan. I will never sell my stock. I owned it from day one, and we are off to a rough start, right? It's on a dip, okay? But I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell the dip. I'm buying more at the dip. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna say reliable starter. I'm not gonna go too far here, but I like Shawn Stewart a lot. You got to talk to me on TK Simpkins though. But I'm
TK's
very much in on Shawn Stewart.
Yeah, I don't think TK Simpkins is good enough. He was inefficient at Elon. That scares me. I think he does. He has a twin brother, which I love. TK and TJ. Great name duo by the Simpkins family on that one, to where that has me like a little bit like you might have a little something something. And I will say he does carry himself like a dog. I watched this kid play Carolina in the Dean Dome and do more than hold his own. Granted, it wasn't a very good Carolina team, but I still think TK underperforms. I don't think he's good enough for the Big Ten. The efficiency really scares me. Cart, like you, I was a big Shawn Stewart supporter. When he transferred from Duke, I was so excited because I was like, thank goodness this kid's going to be an all conference caliber player by the time he's a junior. But I have sold the dip. He is like that store-bought guacamole. It's been sitting, it wasn't that good to begin with. It's been sitting out for a little bit. It's getting a little brown, and I'm moving on and getting some tableside guac instead. I think both underperform.
The guac remark makes so much sense, and now I want guac. But good on you.
So I have three more, and these are like I would say the most exciting,
Okay,
the ones that I will say have the most implications from a national perspective on the best teams.
please.
Pop Isaacs with Houston.
All conference.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
dog. All right,
conference.
I'll say this. Look, I have my doubts about Pop Isaacs, but like you could not argue the dude is productive, man. The dude is
He is.
productive, and also like people treat him like he played. I say people. I'm probably one of the more advocates. People treat him like he just like plays for losing basketball teams. Like he got hurt last year, but Creighton was winning. Like Texas Tech won
Hmm.
games. I'm gonna buy it. Like maybe him and Samson like pop off and they become this great pop off, no pun intended there, and it becomes this great thing. Like yeah, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say all conference. I think he could be all. He probably already was like all something in the Big 12 or all. I don't know. Yeah, I think he will be all conference.
I'm gonna say reliable starter. I can see the path for all conference. It's just like I'm a huge fan of Isaiah Harwell, and I think Kingston Flemings might also be nice to where like, and don't rule out Houston. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's say I want to speak this into existence. I would love to see my dog Boogie Fland withdraw from the draft and go help Houston finish the job.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, it'd be nasty.
that like I would be the biggest. I would be going to a game in the Fertitta Center this year if I get to watch Boogie Fland and Chris Sinak. So that to me is where like the I think the backcourt might end up being a little too crowded for Isaacs to become all conference. But I'll say reliable starter. Jalon Low at Kentucky.
I'll say reliable starter. I'll say reliable. I just don't think he'll get there like an all SEC level. But I do think that he will have a bit of bounce back. I know a lot of people said he had a finger injury down the stretch last year. I look for his shooting percentages to increase a little bit. I think he'll be a reliable starter for Kentucky.
I'm going to say all conference upside. I'm not ready to say it for sure happens, but I think when you look at what Pope did with Lamont Butler, bodes very favorably for a point guard like Lowe, who's obviously nowhere near the defender, but I think just a ton of offensive skill. Like I think about how we viewed Jalon Low after his freshman year. Like if this was this time last year and we knew what we knew about Pope, and it's like, oh, you're not going to Jeff Capel, but you're going to Mark Pope, we would all be like, yeah, this kid might be a top 10 player in the sport. I'm not ready to get that crazy, but I definitely think the upside is there.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Last one, Cedric Coward at Duke.
All conference.
Underperform.
Oh, stop it, Riley.
Okay. This is admittedly a little bit of
Stop,
haters,
man.
and I know like I see you in the YouTube comments, all the Duke fans, extend Hubert Davis. Probably gonna come after me for this one. Can I just read you Cedric Coward's stats against Tier A competition throughout his career?
I suppose.
So Cedric Coward has played 9 Tier A games per Kim Pom in his career. He scored in double figures in just one of those 9 games. He shot 4 for 25 from three in those 9 games, and he had 12 assists to 20 turnovers in those 9 games. That is the case for Cedric Coward to underperform. Let me be clear. I like Cedric Coward. When you watch the film, he jumps off the screen. I think from the defensive upside to the jumper looks good to me. The size and physicality, he should hold up to be that ancillary piece that slides in really nicely next to Cam Boozer, next to Nick Khamenia. Who else am I forgetting? I feel like they got another stud. Oh, Isaiah Evans, duh.
Yeah.
Like he fit. He seems like he'll just know his role and excel in it. But I gotta throw on a little hater hat today and say underperform just because of those tier A numbers.
Fine. Fine.
That's all I had.
Oh,
Fun
so yeah,
segment.
no, my bad. Thank you, Riley. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Topic number two, Riley Jamal Davis, please.
Topic number two, we're going to keep this ACC talk going a little bit longer, and we are going to look at my way too early ACC tiers.
Oh, a little ACC tier, huh?
Uh-huh. So I want your feedback on this cart, and I'm going to say this a couple times. Well, we'll see how it ends up going. But first tier with the elite, I have Louisville at 1, Duke at number 2. Your thoughts?
Oh, so you have Louisville over Duke.
I have Louisville over Duke.
I think with respect to what Duke did last season and what they have coming in, and the fact that Pat Kelsey crapped the bed in the first round of the tournament last year, I'm fine with those two teams being in the first tier, but I am requiring that Duke be ahead of Louisville.
Overruled because this is my segment. Duke stays number 2. They had a great year without me gassing them up, so maybe they'll be fine. The
I
the
wanted very
case
much known that I would have put them one.
the case for Louisville right now, if Duke lands Desmond Claude, then there's a very good chance I'll move them above there. I think Claude fits them to a T, and I think that would make them a lot less Caleb Foster reliant, and that would be scary for me. So get the job done, Shire, but actually don't. But I'm taking Louisville for now. I think the backcourt advantage is massive, and I just think this kid Frew from Germany is about to light it up. Like that kid is so athletic and just a dog, and has played a lot of high quality basketball to where I think he translates pretty easily. With Duke, huge fan of Boozer. I think he's going to roll out of bed with like 17 and 8, maybe even 20 and 10 like he's done his whole career. I think Evans has a great chance to take that next step. I'd like to see him do more than just score, but I think if all he does is score and he gets you 18, 19 a game, then who cares what else he does? He puts the orange thing in the 10-foot thing. Love Hemania as well. I think he should translate pretty easily, but it's just the concerns with Caleb Foster as like your primary guard right now, unless they add Des Claude.
That's fine.
Second tier, I like to call this could be better than UNC. And this is a little self indulgent here because I think in this current iteration of the ACC, UNC should never be lower than third. And yet I don't think UNC will finish third. And it makes me sad. So these are the teams that I think could be better than UNC that I have 3 through 5 right now. I have Virginia
Okay.
at 3. I have NC State at 4. I have Clemson at 5.
Okay, so are we assuming NC State gets PJ Haggerty?
Yes.
Can you talk to me on Clemson?
Their roster's kind of weird, but they get the Brad Brownell bump and what he just like finishes in this range every year.
Okay, I like the Virginia shout. Was there any thought to um who was it? Was there any thought to Miami being above Clemson at all or in this tier?
I could be talked into it. I think with Miami, and I'm not just saying this because he's a Duke guy. This is literally not it at all. But the first time ever head coach, there's just some question marks there to where
Yeah.
I want to see how it comes together. And I'm a little bit concerned, like who is going to be the alpha on that team. Both Trey Donaldson and True Washington were like secondary options. If they kind of like Donaldson played off of Danny Wolf, Washington played off of Donovan Dent. I think the primaries in their offenses opened up a lot for them. I'm a huge Shelton Henderson fan. I think he could. The jumper concerns me a little bit. Maybe he steps into that role in time. And I think Renew has a great shot to like kind of revamp his image in Miami as well. But I would say Miami's a little bit more like a I need to see it to believe it
Okay,
run for me.
I'm fine with that. Who do you have in the next tier?
Next year is UNC in its own tier at 5.
UNC in its own tier.
Excuse me, at number 6. I apologize.
This is yours. Okay, I appreciate it.
Number 7 is on the bubble, and that's Miami. I think they will be a bubble team. I honestly think Carolina might be a bubble team too, but I just want to put them in their own tier.
Okay.
Um,
Are we gonna do the classic like Wake Forest might be on the bubble?
so you will really enjoy my next tier, which is called on the bubble silly face. So these these are teams 8 and 9. Hold on, let me check my numbers right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? Oh yeah, these are teams 8 and 9. Okay.
Okay.
And that's SMU and Wake Forest. Are we on the bubble?
Bubble.
Maybe,
Mhm.
maybe
Bubble
we're messing
team.
around.
Nothing goes to bubble. See first. All right. I like
That's
that.
where
I like that tier.
uh, the next tier is who cares, and that's just teams 10 through 17. They're
Hey,
all
hold on a
bad.
second. Okay, I'm fine with 10 through 17 because I agree. Who really cares about those teams? But I want to make one last push for my Irish to be a bubble team. Come on, man. They got
All right.
Carson Tout, Northern
Okay.
Arizona. They got Burton back. Shrews is a good coach. Jalen Harrelson coming in. They got Shrewsbury back, I believe, the shooter. Like, can I get a silly little Notre Dame on the bubble moment?
Yes, yes, that was an oversight by me. Notre Dame is actually going to bypass on the bubble silly face to just on the bubble with Miami.
Wow.
because
All
we
right.
res- because I respect Jalen Harrelson, I respect Marcus Burton, I respect Braden Shrewsbury, and I respect his pops as a coach. This is the year. Oh, and they got a kid named Ryder Frost who played for Middlesex
Oh,
Magic.
yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Oh,
who's cold.
I know
And
Ryder. Okay,
his
yeah.
last name is Frost. Like, are
Yeah.
you bubble team for Shrews this year?
Yeah.
Um, okay, so that bumps teams 11 through 17 is who cares. The final team at number 18 is a tier. Why do you hate us, Red Autry? And it's just Syracuse.
Okay, I'm gonna actually need JK to put this into a tier so we can post it because it actually is great stuff. Thank you, Riley. That's the official ACC tier maker of our ACC correspondent, by the way. Appreciate you. Topic number three, Riley Edward Davis, please.
This last one, this was a suggestion from Brightstar Jones in the Discord. We are going to pick a final four by numerical category from a way too early top 25 poll. Throughout this offseason, we've been using Jeff Borzello's way too early top 25 from ESPN. I feel like Borzello's been a little complacent, though. He hasn't once shot us a text saying, hey, thanks for using my rankings. So we're switching to Jamie Shaw from On3 this week from his way too early top 25. So here's the deal, Carter. We have to pick a final four team from teams ranked 1 through 5. We have to pick one from teams ranked 6 through 10. We have to pick one from teams ranked 11 through 15, and then one from 16 through 25.
Ooh, okay. I like this. This is, I hate, no, I don't. I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh, okay.
Man,
Ooh.
I will say my first two picks are really easy. Well, the first one's not that easy, but
So we gotta pick Purdue out of the first one, right?
yeah, we do. I want to make the case for UConn and stand on business because I think they're really good and even being slept
I'm
on a
with
little
you
bit
by the way.
nationally.
I'm with you by the way. Do you know what? Actually, let's switch it up. We always pick Purdue. Let's pick UConn.
Let's go UConn. That actually, if Louisville's not the best backcourt in the country, they might be best in terms of number. But I think my favorite starting backcourt in the country is Silas Demery and Solo Ball. So let's go
Yeah.
UConn.
Yeah, okay, I'm with that. All right, so we got UConn, one team.
Number two of teams 6 through 10. The contenders are Michigan, Kentucky, Louisville, Tennessee, and Texas Tech.
Oh,
You can throw Tennessee out of there. I don't like where they're at right now. They're a couple pieces away.
for me, this comes between Louisville and Texas Tech,
I'm with
and
you.
I think I'll lean Louisville because Texas Tech didn't get Darian Williams back.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I think we see back-to-back years of a coach who's never won a postseason game get to the final weekend.
Yeah,
There's Golden this past year. We're gonna see Kelsey do it this next year.
yeah, I'm with that. All right, 11 through 12, we have Duke, Arizona, Auburn, Creighton, Illinois. He has Duke at 11.
Hmm.
Jamie, dirty. No wonder you like these way too early rankings.
I do like this one a lot. Can I make the case for Creighton Cart?
You don't. I mean, we can make it together, but please, yes.
We are Blue Jays this year. This front court is sick, and I want to roll with the Blue Jays. And we don't know how much longer McDermott's going to be coaching. They've already named his head coach in waiting. I like Blake Harper and the boys getting McDermott over the hump in Omaha.
Yeah, man, why not? Get him one before he gets out of here. Yeah, I like Creighton in that spot. Freeman, Dix, Blake Harper, Nick Graves is going to be big for them. I think if he's able to find some consistency. Yeah, I'm rolling with Creighton Blue Jays this year. So let's go ahead and roll with them. All right, we have one more team from 16 to 25. We have Bama, Kansas, Iowa State, UCLA, Wisconsin, Baylor, Florida, UNC, Iowa, NC State. This is tough.
It is. So there's a couple different directions here. If Kansas gets Dame Sar and they're looking at Darren Peterson, Sar, Badunga, I mean, they were quiet to start the year.
Yeah, Bill Self, let me remind y'all folks.
Yes, I would be really intrigued by that. I'm also intrigued by NC State if they get PJ Haggerty, a little Will Wade bump. I do kind of have some concerns with the front court though. Um, Kind of want to go with Florida, just Gator boys stay hot and get back against all odds. I don't
Mm.
know. Do you have any leanings in this one?
Do you give any thought to UCLA being good with Donovan Dent?
I do. Mick
Actually, I
Cronin?
don't. Take that
Okay.
back. It's Cronin.
Yeah.
I think
Cronin's been there before.
they had yeah, crazy. I think out of your pitches though, with Dame Sar being in the fold, Peterson, Sar, Badunga, Council, Dawson, Trey White, even though those the first three guys is what I'm really looking at here. Um, And like, look, I just came off of years of Michigan State fan where Tom Izzo had to remind folks, there's people are calling Bill Self names, man. They're calling him like he's getting the Jason Tatum level treatment right now as far as slander. He might have to remind folks or things are gonna get loud, are they not?
I'm with you. There is great power in a let me remind some folks season to where we might just have to roll with Kansas in this one.
All right, let's roll with Kansas. So we have UConn, Louisville, Creighton, and Kansas. Just for, real quickly here, what are the matchups and who wins the national title, I guess?
So let's say you oh man, dude, UConn versus Kansas in the Final Four. Hurley versus Self would be so sick.
That'd be sick.
Um, I give the edge to Hurley. He's getting back there.
Yeah, I will go that too.
Creighton versus Louisville. Give me McDermott. Give me the grizzled vet. Get into the mountaintop in what could be his last year. But I
All,
think
all Big East championship game.
little All Big East championship game, and I think Hurley gets it done.
Yeah,
I
Hurley,
feel
and
like
if Hurley does get it done again too, that's going to be generational podium behavior by him. He's going to be saying some things. All right, that was fun. I enjoyed that. Shout out to Jamie Shaw. Shout out to our Creighton Blue Jays too. At the end of the day, for making it. One big thing presented by YouTube Compliancy Office, Riley.
For this week, I got a little sentimental one. I was thinking of doing a choose your own adventure, but the sentimental one wins out. My wife, Natalie, she finished up her program and she just got her master's in public health and nutrition.
Ooh, okay. Shout out to Natalie, man.
It's through App State, so go Mountaineers. That's I guess, our secondary team now is an online program. She worked on it the past 3 years, took a year off in there when we had Theo. And yeah, it's just cool to see her put in a ton of work on that like basically getting her master's in her free time was just really admirable. And I'm very proud of her and excited to celebrate that. So shout out to my
Okay,
wife.
shout out to Nat. Are we doing anything in honor of that? Maybe getting are you gonna chef up? Are you gonna make some Biscoff cookies? What are we working with?
So I did, hit up Trader Joe's yesterday, had Theo he helped me pick out some flowers and a card, gave him a couple of options, said which one you like. Got her some chocolates and everything. And then we're actually going out of town this weekend to a wedding with her family. So next weekend, then we'll be out of town next weekend too. The following weekend, we will finally have some plans to celebrate, hit up a nice little sushi restaurant. So yeah, it's the celebration is 2 weeks away, but we've done a little something so far. So
Yeah, love that energy. Shout out to Natalie. That's big time. And in my free time, I like to just find myself and think if I'm actually a human every now and then. Glad that she's just like, silly little master's degree in her free time. Shout out to her on that one. My one big thing for today is gonna be a shout out to Lloyd. I heard you on the way to grandma daycare today, and let me tell you. That song is special from the Wayne verse that started off, and then Lloyd just comes in with that stop, wait a minute. I mean, that's an absolute banger of a song. I don't know what Lloyd's up to nowadays, but that song holds so much value even to this day.
I'm trying to think, can I come up with a parody off the cuff for sleepers?
Please.
Oats is fine too, 'cause I don't want you. Ha 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 ha.
That's such an
The shorty what it is, Risen Carter where it is.
ugh, come on. Man, we're a musicals podcast at all times. Riley, that was a fun episode, brother. Thank you for joining me. Tune in next week, every Friday for Riley Fridays. We'll catch y'all on the next episode, folks.